Ms. Earle-Sears, you're out of time, but I do want to follow up there. So the question was, what is your plan for offsetting those high costs of data centers' energy demands? What is your plan for making sure Virginians don't get stuck with the bills? So 30 seconds.
So what we need is an all of the above approach to energy. We need clean coal, we need oil, we need nuclear, we need natural gas, and we need, yes, renewables. My opponent's only plan is solar and wind. Well, what happens when the sun goes down? There is nothing.
Ms. Earle-Sears, we do need to move on to the next question.
All right, thank you, Deanna. We have a question tonight.
My opponent was asked about her record of discrimination, and importantly, my opponent has previously said that she does not think that gay couples should be allowed to marry. She has said that she is, quote unquote, morally opposed to same-sex marriage. My opponent has also previously said that she thinks it's okay for someone to be fired from their job for being gay. That's discrimination.
Ms. Van Berg.
He said this, that my opponent, Winsome Earle-Sears, has defended Trump's firing of Virginia workers at every turn. She says you don't take the economic consequences of DOGE and what President Trump is doing seriously. And she points out unemployment is up under the Earle-Sears administration. So how do you answer that?
Actually, unemployment is down. That's number one.
She does point to data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, which we hope is going to be nonpartisan and neutral, showing that when you took office, there was a 2.7% unemployment rate and that it's now 3.6. Do you quibble with the data?
So I want to let you finish that thought, but I think it's important that we make clear to the audience right now that the president initiated the biggest singular cut to jobs in U.S. history earlier this year, of course, when he offered more than 2 million people a buyout. 24,000 cuts were made in the U.S. Army, 10,000 in the Veterans Affairs Department. Many of those cuts, of course, in your home state of Virginia right now. So whether, even before we face this shutdown deadline, the president was already cutting jobs. So would you tell President Trump not to cut the jobs of any more federal workers regardless?
So if we're talking about across-the-board cuts, then again, we have to include Senators Kaine and Warner in this. They have a part to play.
What's your message to the president, ma'am?
There are federal jobs that are at stake. We in Virginia, and by the way, I know what it's like to lose a job. I don't want that to happen to anyone. And we have created over 250,000 job openings in Virginia. We have already had some of those same federal workers. They've taken jobs either with local government, state government, or they have gone into the private sector, or they've opened their own business. So we have the ability to put anyone who wants a job in Virginia to work, and we can entertain. If they want to have their own business, we will help them to do that. We have had job fairs. So I'm saying right now, there are 7 Democrats. That's all we need. 7 Democrat senators to come forward and say they will not shut our government down. They will not put these federal workers in jeopardy.
I understand. I'll button it up with this. You recognize that obviously the president was getting rid of federal worker jobs even before this shutdown conversation existed. So just very quickly, yes or no, and then I'll move on. Would you tell President, ma'am, let me interrupt quickly. Would you tell President Trump not to fire any more federal workers?
When is Senators Kaine and Warner going to stand up and say they agree with what you said, then they shouldn't fire any federal workers.
And as I made clear, the job firing started even before the situation we're in now.
This is a big issue in Virginia. This has to do with the hundreds of thousands of federal workers, including many who have lost their jobs under DOGE and the Trump administration. I'm wondering, has the president's push to purge the federal workforce, has that been good for Virginia?
I'm glad you asked this question because your side, I'm assuming your side of the aisle, they keep talking about this. And you know what we've done in Virginia? We've created the 250,000 jobs I'm trying to get to talk about that you wanted to talk about something else.
But what about the jobs that have been, do you support, do you support what they've done?
I'm trying to answer the question now. I'm trying to answer the question.
Please do. Thank you. So do you support the president's purge of the federal workforce? Yes or no?
Oh, okay. If this is the way you want to go, then go ahead. But I'm just not going to participate.
Okay,
because
well,
I want to talk about real issues.
This is the president of the
This is
United States, the
something
leader of your
that
party.
it's
President Trump so far has not endorsed you, and you are the Republican nominee. So why hasn't he endorsed you in this race?
We understand what this is about. The president will make certain decisions. I've already met with him, and that's as far as I'm going to go.
Yeah, because in the other marquee race this fall, the New Jersey governor's race, the president was quick to endorse the Republican candidate there, Jack Ciattarelli. You said you've spoken to the president. What did he say to you when you asked him for his support?
Yeah, I'm not going to talk to you about things that the president and I have spoken about.
You had been critical of the president in the past. In 2022, you said this as he was gearing up for a third run for the Senate. Just listen to this first. I want you to listen to this first.
Is this what you're going to keep talking about?
Well, I want
because
you to,
I thought we were going to talk about the issues that are important to the voters. I'm talking about the education choices that parents
want. We can get into that. We can get to that in a second.
I thought you wanted to talk about the...
Hold on.
Yeah, but
we can talk about that. I just want you to respond. This is the president of the United States, the leader of your party.
It's important to you, but the people
hold on.
About rape and incest, in the general population, against abortion, that's okay. But about 1% or a little bit more are parts of rape and incest. We need to make our choices before we're pregnant, not, after. You already made a choice.
I'm Abigail Spanberger, candidate for governor, and I sponsored this ad.
MAGA Republican Winsome Earle-Sears.
I am speaking.
And what Sears says about abortion is disturbing.
I can't support abortion.
Sears wants a near total ban with no exceptions for rape and incest. And she supports making abortion a felony.
We know abortion is wicked. I am speaking.
Winsome Earle-Sears. So far right, she's wrong for Virginia.